I'm 74 years old, and I'm going to tell you something that will probably upset you. Everything you think you know about success is a lie. So, what was the price I paid to learn this? I lost my son, not to death, to indifference, which, in a way, is worse. The reason I made this video is because I don't have much time left, and because there are fathers out there making the same mistake I did. Those who choose business dinners over family dinners. Those who choose boardrooms over bedrooms. Those who choose a corner office over a corner table at their child's favorite restaurant. And if even one person hears this and changes course, then maybe my failure will have some meaning. This channel is a place where people like me share life lessons and wisdom. If you found this helpful, subscribe. Comment and tell me, what would you do in this situation? Let's keep going. My name is Robert. And 6 years ago, at my son Mason's wedding, he said 4 words to me that I think about every day. Thank you for coming, stranger. Let me take you back. When Mason was born, I was 32 and rapidly rising in a commercial real estate company. My wife, Catherine, was thrilled about the baby. Me, I was scared, not exactly of fatherhood, but of falling behind. My colleague Andrew had just become a senior partner, and I was next in line. A baby meant distraction, sleepless nights, time away from work. But I told myself I was doing it for them, for Mason, for Catherine. I was building something, security, a legacy, a life where Mason wouldn't have to struggle the way I did growing up. So I worked, 70, 80 hours a week. I took phone calls at birthday parties. I missed his first words while closing a deal in Dallas. His first steps? I was in a conference room. Catherine would send me videos, and I'd watch them on planes, feeling a strange mix of pride and distance, as if I were watching someone else's child. When Mason was 7, there was a play at school. He was the tree, not even a talking role, just a tree. But he was so excited about it. He practiced standing still for weeks, arms out like branches. Catherine reminded me of the date 3 times. I marked it on my calendar. I promised her I'd be there. The morning of the play, a client called. A deal we'd been working on for 6 months was falling apart. They needed me in Chicago, not next week, that day. I looked at my calendar, saw the play, and made a choice. I told myself Mason was 7. He wouldn't remember. There would be other plays. But this deal was $8 million. This deal was my promotion. I called Catherine from the airport. I can still hear her silence on the other end of the line before she said, "Okay, Robert, I'll tell him you're stuck at work." She wasn't angry, she was just tired. That somehow made it worse. Mason was the only child whose father didn't show up. Catherine later told me that my son kept turning around in his tree costume, scanning the audience. After the play, a teacher asked him if he was okay, and he said, "My dad builds important buildings. They're more important than trees." I was proud when Catherine told me that. Can you believe it? I was proud that my 7-year-old son understood priorities. I was too blind to see what I was really teaching him, that he wasn't a priority. The years after that became blurry. Mason's childhood became a series of missed moments. Football games I promised to attend but didn't. Science fairs where Catherine took photos alone. The middle school graduation I was 40 minutes late to, and he didn't even seem surprised. When Mason was 14, something changed. He stopped asking if I'd be at his games. He stopped showing me his report cards. When I came home late, he was already in his room, door closed. I told myself it was normal teenage stuff. Boys pull away from their fathers. It's natural, but Catherine knew better. One night she confronted me. We were lying in bed, and she said, "Robert, you're losing him. He's right here in this house, and you're losing him." I went on the defensive. I listed everything I'd provided, the house, the private school, the college fund. She just looked at me with sad eyes and said, "He doesn't need your money, Robert. He needs you." I didn't listen, because Mason seemed fine. Good grades. Got into a decent university. Sure, we weren't close, but we were civil. Polite. I thought that was enough. Mason went to university in California. I told myself it was good for him. Independence. But really, I think he chose a school 3,000 miles away because it was 3,000 miles away from me. He'd come home for holidays but treated our house like a hotel, formal, transactional. He'd hug Catherine for 5 minutes, shake my hand. After college, Mason found a job in San Francisco. Marketing, good salary. He called Catherine every week. Me, maybe once a month. Work, tough conversations about the weather. Nothing real. I kept waiting for us to connect. Maybe when he grew up, he'd understand. He'd see why I worked so hard, that I did it all for him. Then Catherine got sick. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 4 when they found it. She had 6 months. Mason flew home immediately. He took time off work, stayed with us, helped with everything. And I watched him look at his mother with a tenderness I'd never seen before. He would hold her hand for hours. He would read to her. He would make her laugh even when she was in pain. And me? He barely spoke to me. We passed each other in the hallway like roommates. When Catherine died, Mason organized the funeral. He gave the eulogy. I fell apart, but he stood strong. At the reception, people kept telling me what a wonderful son I had, how lucky I was. And all I could think was, I don't even know him. After the funeral, Mason returned to California. A month later, he called to tell me he was getting engaged to a woman named Emma, whom he had been dating for 2 years. 2 years, and I never knew her. I didn't even know her name. He invited me to the wedding, but there was no emotion in his voice. It felt obligatory, like inviting a distant relative you have to invite, but don't really want there. I flew to San Francisco for the wedding. It was beautiful. Mason looked happy. Emma looked wonderful. I sat in the second row and watched my son get married, and I felt like a ghost. During the reception, I approached him to congratulate him. I said something strange about how proud I was. And Mason looked at me with a perfectly polite smile and said, "Thank you for coming, stranger." Not like a stranger joke, like a stranger reality. His eyes were clear. There was no anger. There was no bitterness. He was just honestly acknowledging that I was functionally a stranger to him. We lived in the same house for 18 years and he didn't really know me. And worse, I didn't know him. I left the reception early. I sat in my hotel room and finally began to see. I didn't lose Mason in a dramatic break. I lost him slowly, choice by choice, missed moment by missed moment. I chose the school play over the trip to Dallas. I chose late meetings over dinner. I chose the promotion over the game. Thousands of small choices that added up to a son who felt nothing when he looked at me. Here's what I learned, and you need to hear this. Your children won't remember how hard you worked. They won't remember your promotions, your salary, or the title on your business card. They will remember whether you were there or not, whether you knew their friends' names, whether you listened when they talked about things you didn't care about, whether you chose them or not. I built a career I'm proud of. I became a senior partner at 38. I closed deals worth millions. I had the respect of my colleagues, the admiration of my peers. And you know what? None of it matters. Because now when I call my son, our conversations last 90 seconds. When I visit, he's polite but distant. I have a grandson I've seen twice. His name is Oliver. He's 3 years old and doesn't know who I am. The lie I believed was that success and fatherhood were separate accounts, that I could be exceptional at work and somehow make it all balance out at home. But fatherhood doesn't work that way. You can't save up hours for later. You can't make up for lost time. A 7-year-old doesn't understand that his father missed his game for an important meeting. He just knows his father wasn't there. And eventually, after enough missed games, he stops expecting his father to ever come. Now, when I look at young fathers, I see myself. Phone in hand on the playground, emails at dinner, missing bedtime because of calls. And I want to grab them and say, "Stop. Whatever you're doing can wait. Your daughter won't always want to show you her drawings. Your son won't always invite you to play. There's a window, and it's closing faster than you think. And once it's closed, you can't force it open again. Catherine tried to tell me. God, she tried so hard. But I thought I knew better. I thought I was doing the right thing, providing, building, securing their future. But what I was actually doing was securing my absence from their present. If you're a dad reading this, I beg you, put your phone down at dinner. Even if you're tired, go to the game. Listen to the story about Minecraft or Roblox or whatever they're into, even if you don't understand it. Ask questions. Be curious about who they are. Because one day you'll blink and they'll be grown up, and if you haven't built that relationship brick by brick, moment by moment, it won't be there. And you can't buy it back. You can't work hard enough to win it back. Mason doesn't hate me. It could actually be easier. He's just indifferent. A name on his phone he feels obligated to call on Father's Day. And I did that. Every missed dinner, every broken promise, every time I chose work over him, I built that distance. I'm 74 years old. By every traditional measure, I've been successful. But I lie awake at night thinking about my son's school play where he was the tree. The birthdays I missed, the college tours I didn't go to because of meetings, all the little moments I sacrificed for a career that no longer calls me. Your children are watching you now. They are deciding whether you matter to them, whether you really are their priority when you say you are. And they don't judge by what you say. They judge by where you are, whether you are there, whether you choose them. I built boardrooms but lost bedrooms. I climbed the ladder and lost my son. Don't make my mistake. Because one day you'll be 74 years old, and when your child looks at you like a stranger, your greatest professional achievement will feel hollow. I can't get those years back. I can't get the distance back. All I can do is tell you this. Whatever you're chasing, it's not worth losing your children. Nothing is. Please believe me. I learned this the hard way. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment and tell me, what will you do differently with your children this week? Subscribe for more stories like this from people who learned too late but want to help you learn in time. Hit the like button if you felt it. And remember, your children are only little once. They won't wait for you to understand.